Asian American Pacific Islander Nurses Association of Nevada presents Healthy Mondays with AAPINA of Nevada. Start the week healthy and right with interesting conversations on living a healthy lifestyle. And now, your Healthy Mondays host, Dr. Maryfaye Axon Armstrong.
Aloha! Welcome to Healthy Monday with AAPINA of Nevada. Good evening and thank you for joining us at your hapagkainan, your dining table. Tonight is a perfect topic while you're eating dinner. I have my great friend and nursing colleague who will share with us how and why we need more fruits and vegetables in our diet. Before I introduce our special guest, I want to plug in an exciting community event. The Asian Community Development Council, or ACDC, is having an annual Family Weekend Health and Citizenship Fair on Sunday, October 14th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Rio Hotel Convention Center. It is a family affair and it's free. Bring your whole family. You may pre-register for the event online via Eventbrite, bit.ly/ACDCFD. AAPINA of Nevada is a part of the planning committee, and we are planning fun activities for the children and adults alike. Check out our Healthy Mondays and AAPINA of Nevada Facebook page for more information. Also, we have our AAPINA of Nevada General Membership Meeting follow-up from our meet and greet last August 11th. Join us on Saturday, September 29th from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. at UNLV Bigelow Health Science, Room 152. We are definitely a growing, passionate group. Back to my great friend and nursing colleague and our special guest tonight. Dr. Reimund Serafica is an assistant professor at UNLV. He has a degree in Doctor of Optometry from Central Escolar University. He changed gears in 2002 by completing his Associate of Arts in Nursing from Gardner-Webb University and continued on to obtain an MSN in Nursing Administration at the same university. And he didn't stop there. I met Dr. Serafica when we both studied at University of Hawaii at Manoa's School of Nursing's online Ph.D. program. So Dr. Serafica started his career as a nurse educator in 2006 at the University of South Carolina Upstate, then at Gardner-Webb University in South Carolina, and currently at UNLV since 2014. He received numerous honors and awards such as Outstanding Teaching Award, Outstanding Research Award, Outstanding Faculty Award, Outstanding Scholarship Award, among other things. He published many peer-reviewed articles in various health topics and the use of mHealth to assist self-management and access to healthcare in rural community. He also presented at conferences locally, nationally, and internationally. Impressive CV, I must say. One of his published articles in Journal of Cultural Diversity titled Hapagkainan, Dietary Consumption of Fat, Sugar, Fruits, and Vegetables among Filipino Americans will sure highlight our topic tonight. Dr. Serafica is our AAPINA of Nevada President-elect. I have the pleasure to dialogue with you tonight. Thank you for your willingness to share your expertise to our listeners. Welcome to Healthy Mondays.
Thank you, Dr. Armstrong. Thank you, Johan, for inviting me tonight. I'm very excited when you mentioned about the hapagkainan. That was an article that I wrote like years ago. And it's from my dissertation, actually, from the University of Hawaii, where I measure the amount of fruits and vegetables that the Filipino Americans were actually consuming back in North Carolina. So it's fascinating how we kind of declined that in being acculturating or in the process of acculturation in the United States. And one of the things that we see in trends are, there are differences in the most recent immigrants and the older immigrants when they consume fruits and vegetables in their diet. And unfortunately, we don't really address that even in primary healthcare settings. Like we kind of just check the box when a certain patient would say, I'm eating my fruits and vegetables, but how much and what kind of fruits and vegetables are you eating, and what is the preparation that went to that fruits and vegetables? We kind of like just stop there. So we'll be happy to share and discuss, the things that we are seeing, not only in research, but also in actual practices. Like you just go to a restaurant, for example, find a typical family. When they ordered something, they start with appetizer. But what appetizers are they ordering? Mostly the bad stuff. So before they even get into the main course, you have lots and lots of bad nutrients already that a typical family is consuming. And no wonder how we develop all these chronic illnesses in relation to our diet that we are consuming. So
I remember when we started talking about your research that you also look into kind of vegetables Filipino immigrants have to choose, because not all of our vegetables that are available back in the Philippines are not readily available, especially in South Carolina, right? So how did you address that during
yes,
your study?
and that's a very good question, because one of the barriers actually for immigrants not consuming their fruits and vegetables is because it's not accessible anymore. So we have this out of sight, out of mind kind of phenomena. So we don't see it, we don't eat it, we don't consume it. Another thing is the affordability. Believe it or not, I would say some fruits and vegetables are readily available for us here in the United States, but it's the awareness. Like a new immigrant coming in will say, I don't know that fruit, I don't know that vegetable, so therefore I'm not gonna buy it. And they're waiting for that fruits or vegetables that they are familiar, and sometimes you cannot really see it in the fruits and vegetable sections of the supermarket. Sometimes you may probably find it in a box or in a frozen section. And that's one thing that I also would like to address. Like, for most Filipinos, when they do their cooking, they would say, I would not really complete that recipe because I'm missing one, and that could be a barrier. French fries, for example, we like potatoes, right? Potatoes, well, we bake the potatoes and we mash the potatoes. But then it becomes really a culture here in the Western world that, you ask any kid in town, like, what do you think of potatoes? And they'll say, it's French fries. So that alone magnifies a lot of things in terms of calories, in terms of preparation, in terms of what it can contribute to somebody who is actually at risk for developing chronic diseases like cardiovascular, hypertension, cholesterol, high cholesterol. When you incorporate the amount of diet that they put into their body, you will be surprised of the results. So you mentioned too about how we can make it accessible for us. Awareness is one. Maybe you would find that it is true that especially the mom of the family back in the Philippines, I remember my grandma planning the meal for like 1 week. So they would put it on their little list. They would make sure that when they go to the market or to the grocery store that they have all the ingredients. Who would do that here in the United States? Like we just grab and go. We kind of like, oh, that's good. That's something that I can purchase for my family right now because I'm in a hurry. Time constraint is a big barrier. We really don't plan for what we put in our body. And that's something that we really need to think about and we need to reflect on. It's like doing an exercise. You have to put in the time and energy, if you want a good result. For food, when we wake up in the morning, we don't really think about it. We think about what we are going to accomplish, how we're gonna get there, but we never think about what food am I supposed to consume for lunchtime and for dinner. Is it balanced? Did I incorporate the fruit and vegetables that I really need to consume, and much more? What about my family? What are they eating? So
It's the lifestyle changes here in the
yes.
United States. And I think it's because in the Philippines, during our days, I don't know about now, where moms are usually homemakers, just stay home. And so they do have the time to sit down and plan the meals. And hindi ba namamalengke? And the foods and the meat and the vegetables, it's readily where you don't really need to put too much in the refrigerator. So you walk to the market, yung palengke, di
Yeah,
ba
it's
mamamalengke ka,
fresh.
it's fresh. And here, I notice, even if the vegetable are readily accessible, they're not of good quality. Yung lanta na, yung natanggal na yung mga sustansya, the vitamins, it's no longer there because it has traveled many miles from where it was harvested, not like in the Philippines. It's right there. And we used to plant. Remember in our yard, everybody's yard has like yung mga talbos,
Yeah.
sweet potatoes.
Before the term organic became a phenomena, we used to do that back in the Philippines. Like we plant, we grow our plants and even the trees and the vegetables, the fruit-bearing trees. We have that in our backyard, but now it's kind of like it's hard. One of the things too that we are seeing in research is how we are presenting the fruits and vegetables as food. Or when we prepare the fruits and vegetables, it's because we are losing the nutrients the way we prepare it. For example, when I say to you sodium cetinate, what does it mean? Like it doesn't mean anything to me. Like it's like foreign. But when we say when we hear the word avocado, we know that's avocado. That's a fruit itself. That's what we need to consume. But when we drink of a fruit juice, for example, there's a lot of ingredients, artificial ingredients, processed ingredients that's already there. I don't know if even if you call it, there's a mango on it somewhere, but then it's loaded with sugar. So we are depleting the purpose of consuming the fruit that that our body is screaming for, because we are kind of substituting it to a different kind of fruits, to a different kind of vegetables. You mentioned about South Carolina, North Carolina. We do deep fry everything back there. So when we say okra, it's automatic. It's deep fried okra. But you see, the okra is supposed to, just boil it and serve it with maybe tomatoes, and those are good okras. Squash is the same thing. We used to put that in pinakbet and things like that. Also, the affordability. Back in the Philippines is like more fruits or more vegetables, and then we kind of just like put a little bit of meat to it. It becomes like a sahog, or but here it's exactly the opposite. It's like there are plenty of meat, and then there's like a little bit of vegetables. So there is a reversal of ingredients when it comes to amount. And we don't really see it until we see it in the restaurant, we see it in the family meals. Like this kind of practice are changing. So when we talk about dietary acculturation, we don't really look at how an immigrant is consuming Western food, but we also look at how their native food are changing, and it becomes more richer, it becomes more fatty, it becomes more sugary. All those ingredients that we don't really need, when if we look at our overall health outcomes.
So it sounds like what it boils down to is how we make choices of what we have to put in on our hapagkainan. The choices that we need to have more fruits and vegetables, and the changes in the pyramid to the plate. So I'm going to have an aching question for you. We're going to take a short break, and then when we come back, we'll talk about one or two new fad diet that's out there.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Vegas Pinoys, the PHLV radio concert series continues. Kamikaze. Kamikaze. September 21st at the Cannery Hotel and Casino. Kamikaze.
Hi, kami po ang Kamikaze. Kita-kit sa Kamikaze Tagpuan Tour 2018 US Lane sa September 21 sa Las Vegas sa Cannery Casino Hotel.
Stay tuned to PHLV Radio for the hottest Fil-Am events.
The Filipino American population is growing faster here in the state of Nevada than any state in the nation. Filipino Nevadans have burgeoned to over 100,000 strong as the numbers in other states like New York, New Jersey, Florida, and big Texas. Our Fil-Am businesses are thriving. Everyone's coming. Wouldn't it be nice now to have our own radio where I can hear you and all the things that make you, you? News, music, local events. We have arrived. PHLV Radio is here. Follow PHLV Radio on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or listen to us on phlvradio.com. And soon, download the app from the App Store and Google Play.
Here's PHLV Radio's Let's Go Go. It's the Vegas Pinoys Community Billboard.
Let's go mga Vegas Pinoy, the Nightingales in concert. October 14th, 5:30 p.m., Flamingo Theater Library, 1401 East Flamingo Road, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89119. Featuring Maria Rina Paula Cruz and Bianca Camilo Lopez. The Nightingales in concert. October 14th. Mark your calendars. Let's go.
PHLV Radio's Let's Go Go. It's the Vegas Pinoys Community Billboard. The hits, talk, and places we go. This is your Filipino radio experience para sa Vegas Pinoy. From David Wilson's Toyota of Las Vegas, PHLV Radio.
This is Healthy Mondays with AAPINA of Nevada. Healthy Mondays with AAPINA of Nevada. Start the week healthy and right with interesting conversations on living a healthy lifestyle.
Welcome back to Healthy Mondays. I have our special guest tonight, my good friend and colleague, Dr. Reimund Serafica from UNLV. We are just talking about how to incorporate more fruits and vegetables in your diet. Really, the bottom line is how to be wise in making choices, how you prepare your meals, try to avoid fatty foods. We have natural foods, fruits, and vegetables. We'll put chocolate on our strawberries. We dip it in something more sweets. But before we go back to our topic, I didn't get the chance to hear about your humble beginnings, Dr. Reimund Serafica. Would you like to share a little bit about your humble beginnings to our listeners so they get to know you?
Okay, so this was way back in North Carolina. So I went for my undergraduate degree in nursing. And at the time, we were living in Canada already. So by the time I graduated, there was an offer for me to work in medical ICU as a brand new nurse. So I took that opportunity. So I didn't go back to Canada. So I was in ICU for 5 years, and I got to know, different medical conditions. And after that, I went to the administration because I thought that nursing administration at the time was a major for my master's. But when I graduated, I didn't realize that there was no job for nursing administrators. So I got an offer to do a directorship of education in a hospital. So I little that I know that that being an educator was like more of a calling, because when I was educating fellow nurses, physicians, and even patients at that time, then it grew on me that I became passionate to education. So in education, I also realized that research is very important because you need to research something and then you can educate the people. So that's when I went back to get my doctorate in Hawaii. And it all tied in together, you have a little bit of medical ICU experience, you have the education, you have the research experience. That's really a great combination for me, at least for me, that what I'm doing now is actually all the things that I really would like to do, even when I was much younger.
Amazing how things come together. And
Yes.
that's where I got to meet you.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So thank you for sharing that. There are two fad diets that I hear about a lot. Our friend Kay is on keto diet and it's working so well for her. But I wanted to talk about one diet that I was sort of familiar with when I was still in Hawaii. I interviewed someone on my radio show there. It's called the Ornish diet. It's ORNISH. So the Ornish diet was developed by Ornish Lifestyle Medicine, and it focuses on healthy, whole foods such as non-refined grains, good protein, fruits, vegetables, and healthy fats. So according to the developers, this diet can resolve diabetes, heart disease, and prostate cancer. Studies have shown following the diet can actually change one's genetic makeup, reducing the risk of cancer of the prostate, breast, and colon. The Ornish diet is also an option for those looking to lose weight or eat healthier in general. So that's, I think, one of our colleagues and mentor also back in Hawaii is trying this Ornish diet. That's because she was told that her heart is not doing well and she got some consistent, persistent arrhythmias, I think, in her heart. Yeah. So I guess what you know about the keto diet? It's been, everybody's talking about it, and I was just wondering what it is.
Yes, I heard about keto diet probably 2 years ago, and what it is actually you eat a real low carb foods, like you can still eat meat, fish, eggs, some types of vegetables, and natural fats like butter or oil. So they do believe that once you're in keto diet, once you are moving, you are actually spending your energy. You're spending the fats in your body. So it's not the carbohydrates anymore that's working, it's the fat. So you are losing weight because the fat is evaporating. So the thing with keto diet is like it's not really a lifestyle for some people, but it becomes their lifestyle in a sense that they see the results once they're on it. It's not much more of the pounds that are going away, but it's more on the size of the clothing, for example. So for a person who was extra large, and then in few months you became small or medium. I mean, that itself is a phenomenon. So a lot of people are drawn to doing keto. Keto diet started like years ago, and it's not meant to be like a diet, but it meant to be for people who are at risk for developing seizure, mostly for kids, in pediatric ICU. They put them on keto diet and they get good results. They don't seize anymore, or they don't have any seizure activity. So those are the things that was that the approach of the keto diet, and then it became like more of a lifestyle modification. The thing that kind of worried about the keto diet is like it limits a person to consume the fruits and vegetables that's good for them too, because I do believe that they can only eat like limited amount of berries. Berries are good for the body, it's antioxidant, it's good for your cholesterol, but if you limit yourself to 2 or 3 pieces, that's not even
Not
gonna
enough
do
to supplement
that's
what
not
you
even
need.
gonna do anything to you. It's
Yes.
just like to change your taste buds. So you have to be very careful. You need to know your history, familial history, whether is it going to increase my cholesterol just like my mom or dad used to be, because you are going to consume lots and lots of fat. This is a little bit different from Atkins, where Atkins is more on protein.
Protein,
This is
lots of-
like small amount of protein but more on fats. And once if a person approached me about keto diet, I would say make sure that you are eating the good fats, not the chicharron or the all the lechon kawali skin.
I heard that they call keto diet as intermittent diet.
Okay.
So I guess because it's not supposed to be a permanent way of eating. It's just to train you to limit your carbohydrates. I remember, and you were there when we were having a lunch with colleagues, and we went to a pho place. And I think it was, where was this? Is it in Rio? I forgot where.
One of the conferences.
One of the conferences. And so we sat down. It's a Vietnamese noodle place. And one of our colleagues said, "Can I have this pho soup but no noodles?" And then the waiter was saying, "Why you come for pho? You don't like noodles."
Yeah, it's
but
like,
that's the diet.
it's like ordering a pad thai without the pad thai noodles,
Yes,
So those are the things that you probably need to sacrifice. And a good thing that you mentioned about intermittent fasting, because I think that's part of the keto diet that most people are doing as well. So instead of eating 3 times a day, they would just eat once a day. And that intermittent fasting will allow that person to lose more weight. It's good if that person can tolerate it, but it's not good if you already have, a history of fainting or you're kind of malnourished or anemic. You don't want those kind of fainting episodes.
Or if you have diabetes,
yes.
that's not good because you can get hypoglycemic. Okay, so wow, we are running out of time now. I guess that saying that goes, time flies when you're having fun.
I know.
So when we talk about food, and it makes me hungrier. But I wanted to ask you, Dr. Ray Serafica, what is your takeaway to all our listeners out there? How can they, in brief summary, how can they make good choices in incorporating more fruits and vegetables in their diet?
Well, one thing that they can do is like work them into your meals. The fruits and vegetables, you need to have a plan. If you want to do this, then you need to start the habit. Again, this is just like an exercise regimen that you really need to prepare yourself, to consume more fruits and vegetables. And what I'm saying to the moms or the dads who are taking care of the meals for the family, I mean, you become a fruit and vegetable rock star of your own family. You have to introduce it in a more fun way. You have to introduce it in a more creative way, so that it will encourage the kids too to eat more fruits and vegetables, and make it more of a lifestyle instead of like running away from eating the fruits and vegetables that our body needs.
And I think we are in a place like here in Las Vegas. There's a lot of farmers market, and I was so delighted. There's a lot of Filipino stores that you can have your sitaw, your bataw, your patani. I'm about to sing here. Bahay kubo.
Right.
Anyway, so there you go, listeners. Our listeners out there, make good, wise choices for yourself with your meals. There are stores available to buy all these fruits. And then if you're not familiar with a vegetable, look it up. And I think you have a program too, a research study that you had the participants take pictures of the meals that they have. And then later on you consult with them and then share with them how they can improve how to add more fruits and vegetables in their diet.
And one thing too that we are really pushing our population, especially, is like the way they prepare their fruits and vegetables. Like we want it to be more basic than it is, because if you add sugar, you add fat, you are depleting the purpose of having the fruits and vegetables in the diet. But you have to be careful too for diabetic listeners out there. There are some fruits and vegetables that have higher glycemic index, and those are the carbs in the foods, that the higher the glycemic index can actually make your blood glucose.
Like ripe mangoes, right? I remember I was working.
Watermelon, even bananas for some
yeah.
people. Pineapple, we love pineapple in Hawaii, but we have to be very careful about those too if you already diagnosed with pre-diabetes or you're already pre-diabetic.
We can go on and on and on about the fruits and vegetables, ripe mangoes, pineapples, but the bottom line is it has to be a way of life. You have to train yourself in eating more fruits and vegetables, and I think it's good to identify those fruits and vegetables that you like and the children like, so then you have it in your refrigerator and take out all those chocolates and sodas. Have more fruits and vegetables. So there you go, our listeners out there. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you, Dr. Reimund Serafica, for joining us tonight and having us think about how we can be wiser in making choices with our meals to have more fruits and vegetables. I also want to thank PHLV Radio for giving us this platform. And, the next topic we have is very timely too, sudden cardiac arrest. It's going to be with Dr. Zara Barinas, so stay tuned for that, listeners. So time flies when you're having fun. So listeners out there, remember, every Monday is a healthy Monday. Aloha.
The Asian American Pacific Islander Nurses Association of Nevada has just brought you Healthy Mondays with AAPINA